Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, he's with me. Let him in. Spit back. Let's go. Let's go. Now wrapped around the block, shivering in the cold. They waiting for a miracle, doing what they're told. But I don't wait for nothing. I don't check the time. When you own the building, you never stand in line. The bouncer sees a caddy, he lifts a little chain, parting like the Red Sea, stepping out the rain. I walk into the heat, the bass is in my chest, leave the peasants outside. I'm drinking with the best. She looking at me, hey! She looking at you, no! She looking at the diamond on my walking shoe. The DJ knows the code, he spins the record back. Who walked in the room? It's all behind the velvet rope. The velvet, where the smoke is sweet and there ain't no hope. For the ones outside looking through the glass. Baby, if you want in, you better have the pass. Yeah, it's the velvet rope. Access granted. Hey! Gold cards on the table, bottles in the ice. If you have to ask the cost, you can't afford the price. Jimmy 2 times in the corner, counting up the tape while I'm on the dance floor, watching bodies shake. See the girl in the sequins, she's waiting for the cue. She wants a taste of power, she wants a bird's eye view. Come here, little mama, step inside the zone. Leave your man at the bar, he can take a taxi home. She looking at me, hey, she looking at you. She knows I got the magic that can make her new. The lights go down low, the crowd begins to crack. Who runs this town? Spit back. It's all behind the velvet rope. The velvet rope, where the smoke is sweet and there ain't no hope. For the ones outside looking through the glass. Baby, if you want in, you better have the pass. Yeah, it's the velvet rope. Hey! It's a movie. Some people make the movie. You're standing on the sidewalk, I'm standing on the star. Which side of the road are you on? Tell me, it's all behind the velvet rope. Don't you wanna come inside? I smoke the street and there ain't no hope. It's so cold outside, baby. Baby, if you want in, you better have the pass. It's all behind the velvet rope. Don't you wanna come inside? I smoke the street and there ain't no hope. It's so cold outside, baby. Baby, if you want in, you better have the pass.
And greetings, blessings,
Jack.
salutations.
There we Jack, go. Welcome. Or I mean, welcome me, I guess. I don't know. Whose show is this? Here, Jack, take your show.
Hey, you know what? Welcome to everyone.
Thank you.
Over with Outliers in Exile, Gen X Jeff, and here on Jack Talcott. We're joining together, collaborating, right?
Yeah, I've been wanting to do this for a while. We've always kind of vibed. Well, you're one of the few people in the Panelverse that I can have on my show and have a really good conversation with. and not have to worry about a lot of communication breakdown.
That is what we're gonna do. This is my hope for us, Jeff, because just what you said, we can have good conversations together because we pay attention and we listen. I think I've witnessed you. You've got a great gift of awareness, understanding the perspective of others.
I'm flinching because that's the same thing that trips me up. My lack of awareness and understanding of others. So thank you.
See, there's another example. Your humility is a beautiful strength. It
Oh,
is.
God. Well,
Okay.
hopefully we'll get to talk about some of your strengths today too, which I think you have not so much hidden strengths, but overlooked strengths that should be very obvious, but for some whatever reason, people get distracted by other things.
Well, it's like you too. Similarly, I assume, but it's our challenge. This is why we've become good communicators, because we've been misunderstood. A lot of people have, right? It's part of our life, though. And here the similarity for those who haven't been introduced to Gen X Jeff and Outliers in Exile yet, please, the link is in my description, and I encourage you go subscribe and hang out there. But this common theme I think we have, mental health, right? Men's mental health in particular.
Yes. And well-being and growth. Like, what do you do when after you're mentally healthy? Where do you go from there? There's still things you can do.
That continuous growth,
Yeah.
that path of growth. That's what I found.
Community. I'm very big on community building. So it's not even just an individual growth. It's how do you have healthy communities that can sustain that growth?
And how can the community grow in health? That's actually what I envision, Jeff. I envision things so different than they are, where families work to consciously grow and develop the talents within their family, right? And then the community around them supports them, and the family supports the community. And if we work together more if we work together more, the world would
I
be
think
so
that's a
much.
beautiful ideal, and I think it happens in many places in more high trust, maybe smaller communities or more high trust societies. So you do see it. It's just how to make it happen in other places.
That. Well, and this is where my bigger picture comes in. People reflect the society, and the society reflects the people, and the systems are broken. That's why there's so many broken people.
There's there's many reasons, but what I found
Yeah.
is even without the system or despite the system, there's so many things people can do on their own. There's so much power people have that they don't always realize that the system can't take away from them.
That's what my path showed me. I used to trust in the systems more than I realized. And I didn't have
You had
trust.
an experience with them.
I was involved
Very
with
out of the ordinary.
my path has been perfect for this, right? I got broken so that I could study health.
Oh yeah, I like that. Post-traumatic growth. And then so what eventually it led you here, and how long have you been on YouTube, and did you come on YouTube with the intention of like doing this personal growth work and bringing this message?
Yes. It my path, there were many reasons behind me going on YouTube, but I think I started around 2019 or 2020 doing videos. I didn't get into this till a couple of years later, but the idea was I studied and I was learning about self-development, different methods that people were using, and I was studying trauma different methods that people were using to overcome trauma. And my own path took me through addiction. So I got all these ideas of growth and healing in my head. And so I thought, let me see if I can catch some people who want to change. And so I tried going online, and then I made some mistakes along the way.
What mistakes?
Uh, Not knowing how to deal with some of the craziness. My
You found yourself in the Panoverse is what happened. Which
that
is the same thing that happened to me. So, like, one of the things we could talk about today is two people like us that came here to try to help people with personal growth and that kind of stuff. We're in this very not the environment we expected to find ourselves in. And the
no,
challenges we face trying to do this, the reputation you get sometimes trying, because it's not what most people come to this part of YouTube for. But yet here we are.
right. And it's been remarkable for me, because not only am I about mental health, spiritual health, I'm also about the common law, rights, freedom, and principles, which is what many of these people claim to be about. But all I see is a lot of confused people that aren't clear in their purpose yet.
Yeah, and clearing a lot of things, but then are we like? I'm not even always clear of my purpose either. So one thing the Panoverse has helped me with, I will tell you, is it humanized me. It kind of brings you down off of your high horse. It shows you that you have the same stuff, that y'all are all in this together. And I think that was healthy for me, and my like self-help YouTube career might have taken a different turn with if I had not detoured it through the Panelverse, and probably a less fulfilling turn.
It's been incredible for me on my own inner development, because I found myself getting triggered a lot. There's a lot of record of Angry Jack coming out online,
Angry
right?
Cot, yes. He's
Yep.
his own persona.
it's it's part of me, but I'm committed, Jeff. And this will bring us into something else, but I'm committed to clearing myself in the world of that angry version of me.
But if
He's had
that's you, just own it. Like you're having completely normal reactions to whatever's going on in your head at the time. Because I get that too. When I went really heavy on the personal growth stuff recently, I said my worst fear is turning into Jack Talcott. And I told my audience, please don't let me become Jack Talcott. And there were moments where they were saying, you're turning into Jack. This is reminding me of Jack. So there's something about those reactions. For me, it's frustration. Where does it come from you? Because we all know what we're talking about, those little spikes that hit.
It was a lesson. The anger, every time I get angry in reflection, I find things I could have done different. I usually regret allowing myself to do that. And the more time I spend in love, right, with love, just thoughts of love and not worrying. I don't want to be with a angry Jack anymore, honestly.
You do, like, I have always complimented you on your emotional recovery, because even when Angry Cock comes out, he's gone in like 2 seconds. You're so good at returning back to a nice conversational baseline after they hit. So that's a strength that I think often goes unnoticed here.
Thank you, Jeff.
And that's a skill too that other people could learn from you.
Thank you. But the reality is, it's just because I've had so much practice getting angry.
Well, you do it well. It pays off. It shows a virtuoso.
Well, this is my hope. And Jeff, what I think the result would be, if we're able to connect and actually find ways to connect and help others, we're going to create a place where men are kinder to men, right?
I hope so. That's one thing you suggested the idea the other day, and I'm really jiving with it. Be, I started doing this love thing, like try to become a more loving person, and I don't know that it helped or that anything really happened, but that was kind of the mentality behind it.
Yeah.
Men are competitive.
Yeah.
The panelverse is competitive, and it doesn't like the tiniest bit of kindness can make such a difference in that environment. And if we can just learn to grace, just there are so many moments when we can just give each other some grace. But I think there are probably structural reasons, perhaps, that some people refrain from that grace because the drama and the conflict translates into lucre for some people. So, but for those that are not here for those reasons and want the community part of it, the community is what you make it. And if you
Yeah.
can find those little like moments where you can give grace instead of conflict or keep conflict that doesn't have to inflame from inflaming, then that I think that's to me being men being kinder to each other.
Absolutely. That term grace, that
It's
was
not very
something.
masculine, but I think it's
Nope.
we call it
It's
though.
it's not. But that kind of brings up the reality too. Men in this society, the ones that I've known and that I was, we've kind of devalued the strength and the power of the feminine.
Yeah, me too. See how I had a little reaction when you
Yep.
said that?
Yep.
Maybe
I
that's
know
something you could help me with,
it.
finding my feminine.
Well, it's part of that grace. Grace, right? The willingness to have grace and share grace with another. It requires acceptance. Men,
And kind of optimism, like hope, positive self-regard, seeing that person as capable of being something more than what you think they were in that moment. Like giving them some trust and believing in their ability. Good faith, I guess.
that's beautiful. That's love.
Ugh.
That
Is
is
it?
seeing someone
Oh,
for more than they're showing themselves to be, right? Seeing someone's greater this I mean all of us we go through these periods of just self-defeat or the world is defeating us. And the last thing we need is someone kicking us in the balls, figuratively or really, right? So one of the things I heard from a professional who deals with really hurt men, um, encouragement. If men could be more encouraging with each other, reminding each other, "Hey, dude, yeah, you're better than this. Hey, you're stronger than this. You're greater than this," right? Those types of things, they can save someone's life, seriously.
and support. Like I think a lot of men feel alone. They don't have that. They don't know that there's other men out there that support who they are and what they're doing. That it's okay to a be a man, but b to suffer and feel and go through pain and be weak at times. And
Yeah.
so just I guess more of that too.
Well, a lot of men, it seems, will encourage each other to tough it out, right? Put it behind you.
Man up.
Move, yeah, man up. um, there's that's a partial truth, right? That's part of it, but it's not the whole thing. How do you do that? How do you do that when your world's crumbling and there's nobody around, right?
And being able to put aside emotion to be strong, because sometimes you have to step up and be that strength and that strong person, and you really don't have time for that. But there's a way to do it where you're not just putting it aside and not dealing with it. There's a way to put it aside through processing it and resolving it, and then you can move on, like with a clear slate in your strength. and
Yes.
and like men knowing that it's okay to do that. It's okay to have the emotion. You don't have to pretend like you're this stoic non-feeling person, but there's ways you can have the emotion that serve you and can serve the community better.
something I heard a long time ago, these different emotions of sadness or anger or whatever, if we view them as guests, they're visitors, right?
Hmm.
I heard the analogy that I'm driving the bus. Ooh, there's that anger. Hey, I'll pick him up. He's welcome to join. I'm not going to ignore or deny him, but he's not taking over. I'm driving the bus, right?
I like that.
I do too. I did
And
too.
finding other people to put on the bus besides
Yep,
the anger. Like, where's the good stuff you want on the bus?
exactly. I love that approach. That this idea is something I picked up along the way. The concept of experiential alchemy, right? The idea of alchemy is refinement. You take the ordinary and you extract and you convert lead into gold, right? Um, and then our experiences, we've got these tough experiences. A lot of our trauma is due to these anchored memories that are holding us down, right? Um, Lost where I was going. Sorry.
The trauma memories and
Well, our world is suffering from ignorance. People carry around trauma because it hasn't been understood properly in the mainstream and in the common families.
how would you help someone? Like, just I'm trying to play with this idea of like you and I putting our powers together. So if we were to address trauma, or like an individual showed up on your panel perhaps with trauma, what would your approach be? How would you handle it, and then what would we do as a team maybe?
I love that because it brought me back to where I was trying to go. The idea of experiential alchemy, right? Take those tough times, those tough moments, and especially with help, with an outside perspective, we can find a different answer. What did that dark time mean? Right? Because in our youth, we may not even realize what it is that's inside our subconscious, but we can identify the feelings together. If someone's willing, they can work themselves back to the early memory, and then through compassion and honesty. This is what I experienced in working with my sponsor in AA. Having an outside perspective of someone who was actually trying to care and understand just gave me the confirmation and the reassurance that I wasn't this piece of crap that I kept telling myself, right? That I had done the best I could. That was all I needed to feel better.
Is that what started it, like turning it around?
That's when I started recognizing when I found a different perspective, a different relationship with the truth, there was a power I felt. I called it God, right? I felt God when I learned different
It was
things.
internal, like something inside of you did.
Just a shift happens within me. And I think I've had my mind blown many times, dude, from
It
what
seems
happened in my life and things I learned. And I was like, wow, I did not know that. But what I've come down to, there's something amazing that's happening with all of us here on Earth. Life is pretty amazing. It's far more than we've been led to believe. And the answers are here. There's
and now
people,
we have AI to unlock them for us.
even
Life's
more.
about to get even more amazing
It
ish.
is, especially if people stop lying to each other
And themselves.
and themselves.
Because
That's where it starts.
that's the first person they're lying to that starts the lie with the other person in the first place.
Jeff, let's talk about that for a little bit, please. The
Sure.
importance of honesty, right?
Transparency creates trust. That's my motto. I say it all the time. I trust people that are able to be open. I trust more than people that I feel like are trying to hide or manipulate the information flow, or if just talk, just put it out there.
Yes.
Not you don't need a lot of friction. Just let it flow.
That's exactly how we're supposed to be. But in this world where everyone's in competition with each other, trust has been broken and lost.
Well, we're social primate species, and we're competing for resources and status and mates and territory and all. So we still have that like animal programming in us that drives that. And even modern society, we still kind of have to compete for jobs and schools and that kind of stuff, neighborhoods.
For
So I
now.
think that there's still conditions in modern life that keep that primitive layer activated. But I don't think it has to be the stopping point of modern life. I think there's more to us than just all of that.
Well, it's been shown, proven in many different ways regarding what man can become. The ideas of the Ubermensch or the ascended ones, the saints. We have the capacity to overcome the beastly instincts, and it's really what we're designed to do. We're designed to overcome the fleshly desires and the worldly worries so that we can bring forth a world of peace.
And I think maybe not only designed for it, and it's necessary if we want to keep the civilization we have going because it requires it. But it actually is for you will find fulfillment in it. There is a higher fulfillment in something like that that once you start doing it, it's its own reward at some point. Because you don't ever like you don't want to go back to feeling how you were. You don't want to go back to just the beast.
No, Jeff, that's what I mean. I've grown long ago. I grew tired of being an alcoholic. I got sick of being sick and tired. And I finally chose to change. And I've grown tired of the angry Jack. I did set a goal a long time ago. I haven't shared it for a while, but when I started learning that there were multiple Buddhas, these records of these saintly beings, uh, there's different reputations for different saints, and I wanted to become a jolly Buddha. That was my goal. But
Is that Barney?
I got sirens driving by. I'm not sure if they're coming through, but to be a jolly guy, what did I have to do? I had to overcome my periods of anger. And so I learned how to shorten the time that I'm angry, and then I'm learning to reduce the amount of anger, just like I had to do with my sadness, right? All of these feelings are all just a result of our insecurities.
What is there a pattern to what triggers the anger? Like we only see the part of it that happens on YouTube. Is that where most of it is?
Oh, yeah, pretty much. Well, I don't know. Barty might say different.
Yeah, he knows a thing or two about triggering anger.
He's, yes.
Is- We'll have to
Well,
have him up here one day.
I hope so. I hope so. He's another great guy. Great sense of humor. This is what I mean. There's some amazing characters we've come across, Jeff. I mean, we
They
are
are
kind of,
characters.
what's that?
They are characters.
All of us are.
Yeah.
We're all just characters in this story of time.
Well, it seems like you've made a home here. Like you're here to stay, and I feel like I pretty much am too. What are some of the challenges of trying to do this kind of work in a place like this? Like, because this is not your typical. If you were just a life coach hanging a shingle, this is not your typical client base.
No. How to make this work? That is what I've been trying to figure out. I believe this is a step stuff like this, having actual conversations with people that understand me, it helps others believe that I can be understood.
And helpful to. That's ultimately what you want to communicate, is that you can be helpful.
That is what I'm trying to
And
show.
I
But
think you can. I think you get misjudged a lot, or I think it gets eclipsed by the panel stuff. But underneath all that, there still is a skilled life coach.
thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. Um, you as well. You've you've got a gift. I'm telling you.
I'm
And
trying to figure out how to use it without burning everybody up in the process.
this is the path that we found ourselves on, right? And it's not the typical path that others would find themselves in, but this ties us into another idea, the idea of leadership. Being willing to lead yourself even into the unknown, even though others aren't doing this. That's what we're doing.
I think anytime people step out of the crowd, even just a little bit, if you raise your head, people start to react, and they don't like any. But then part of leadership is you have to set norms. You have to create structure. You have to create a container. And my biggest challenge is doing that in a way. This is an environment where people are very sensitive to authoritarianism. There's kind of an outlaw mentality around here. So you can't just come in and start laying the structure and setting the boundaries. So my biggest challenge has been how to lead in a way that is not that still, like, how do you get that structure so it's not all chaos all the time? And how do you start establishing norms without enforcing them kind of top down? It has to be collaborative, and it has to be very flexible with the structure, very loose.
Yes, that's something I've learned about leadership, right? Much of our society builds bosses. It doesn't really teach leadership.
It
So
really doesn't.
my inspiration originally for leadership was in the realm of labor history, right? Dr.
Mm.
Martin Luther King Jr. He stood out for me, and that's that's what I saw. That's what I wanted to do and to be. And then the more I listened to him, he turned me on to the example and the stories of Jesus, and I thought that is supreme leadership. That's what he showed. Courage in the face of danger, peace in the face of violence. He was willing to serve anyone who needed it, right? For the most part. So that's the type of leadership that I didn't realize. Well, I was trying to be a man like that when I was a union president and a shop steward, but I didn't have a relationship with God at all. No understanding whatsoever.
How did that happen? How did that get established?
Which part? What do you mean?
Your relationship with God.
When I lost everyone and everything.
That was the
I,
only one left.
I
Yeah, I'm
was,
still here, Jack.
well, it turned, this was where I found myself. I thought I didn't know what happened because the world around me treated me like I was dead. They just refused me and ignored me and
You're
avoided
talking about
me.
like friends, family, loved ones, that kind of thing. Your community, your whole social group.
All of Spokane. I mean, I'd go
Oh my
out.
God, that's.
I would I was going out trying to be a life coach. I was going downtown 7 nights a week,
Are you
going through,
serious?
going through, walking through the bars,
They
making
would run.
myself available, seeing if I could meet someone. And I did everything I could think of, but my life got bizarre and I found myself completely alone. I got dark thoughts a couple of times and was ready to quit and give
I
up.
know about those.
Well, one of the dark days I realized I don't know why I'm here. But by then I'd become convinced that there's a reason for everything. Everything in nature has a purpose. And so there's a purpose for my being. And then I started thinking about the example of Jesus. I was like, well, maybe God has faith in me. Maybe that's why I'm here. I lost faith. I don't have any hope, but maybe God's got faith in me. And then I started thinking about Jesus and his embodiment, his example of divine faith. And then I started thinking, well, what would that mean? Because I was envious of people in my past who had faith. I didn't understand it. It made no sense to me. It was illogical. How do you trust in something you can't see, that
Right.
you can't
Yeah.
prove, you can't explain it? You're a fool.
It defies all the laws of logic. In fact, in logic, you're specifically not supposed to trust something on faith that you can't verify.
I know. And this is what I realized. Growing up, I have been blessed with a sharp mind, right? And growing up, the old shows of Star Trek.
Oh, the
Doc,
original series, the ones I
yeah,
never watched. Yeah.
yes,
I'm
Dr. Spock, the Vulcan.
the logic, like the cold logic. Yeah.
He was my hero.
Are you
He was
serious?
my
You were a nerd?
hero growing up. Yes, man. But that cold, hard logic, I was like, I get that. That makes sense to me. But then I started learning about the world problems, and none of the world problems made any sense to me, and I drove myself insane.
Because you were trying to logically figure them all out, like problem solving mind.
Mm-hmm. Trying to figure out the world problems and my own problems and everybody else's problems. And I drove myself insane because I was focused on the negativity.
Focused on what?
The negativity.
Oh yeah.
I had a tough.
I've noticed a lot of that on YouTube. People have a really dark view of the world. They look out and they see a lot of the negative. It's very dystopian.
It's what
Man,
we've
my
been
computer
taught.
sounds like it's about to explode. It's so loud. Okay.
It's not coming through though.
Oh.
Not from what I can hear. So I think you're doing all right. These ideas, though, in my experience, logic without love drove me insane, made me afraid and angry, and nothing in the world made sense. And the world then got real. I felt so small and just out of touch. And I was disassociated from anything good. Jeff, I'm remembering early in my recovery working with my sponsor. We're sitting there at Denny's having breakfast, and he tells me, give me 5 things you're grateful for. We're having breakfast before I go to my federal job at the Postal Service, where I've got decent income, health benefits. I've got a beautiful home. I've got a healthy son part of the time. I mean, I got a lot going for me. And with my sponsor, give me 5 things you're grateful for. I couldn't come up with one. I was sick. I didn't know how much I'd gone off. But this life has woken me up to this fact. I was able to change. When I was young, I thought I was racist. I thought I was,
Really?
yeah.
Oh, you grew up in Washington.
In
Suppose they all
Colville.
racist up here. Yeah.
Yeah, up in Colville. It's logging and mining.
They don't have any black people up here.
there wasn't many. But yeah, when I joined the Army, I thought I was racist. I thought I was a patriot. I was a nationalist. America is the best. And I was a
But
capitalist.
you were a capitalist?
I used to be.
You sound almost MAGA.
This is what I mean. When I was 17 through maybe 20, dude, Donald Trump, I'd have been a total MAGA, total MAGA. But no, but this is what I understand. I think if I can go from that mentality of wealth and authority are the most important things, if I can go from that to caring about life and health and love, I got faith. Give me a shot at Donald Trump. Let me see what I can do to him.
You still trying to get it on? Maybe you can get him on your show. I'm telling you, Barron Trump is the key. He's the one that set up all of Trump's social media during the campaign, Joe Rogan, all that stuff. If you can get to Barron, he can get you Trump. And I think Barron's a spur, so I think there's potential for getting to Barron. We just got to get him into the panelverse. Trump will follow.
You know what? It's not the first time I've heard that, so I'm going to take that as a sign I should pursue. Perhaps.
Yeah, hell yeah, I'll help.
Some,
If like we'll do some kind of campaign. Well, maybe we shouldn't talk about it publicly. We'll talk. We'll
well,
plot and scheme in the back.
I'm yes, but to answer the question, yeah, I mean, Jeff, this is why I moved from Washington. Well, part of it, I got evicted from the house in Spokane.
Oh yeah, that was kind of coming for a
Yeah.
while, but
and I didn't know where I was going to end up or where I was going to go. I didn't know what was going to happen. Packed my camping gear, my tent and sleeping bags and stuff for the worst case, you know. But somehow, dude, my faith has been that I believe it's possible that things are being shown to me for us all. You've been shown things for us all, right? Many of it, we're at this time of change. There's a shift in consciousness
there
all
is.
around the world.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling it too, even here.
It's ready. I see so many people on the panelverse, and I'm not going to single anyone out, but I've seen a number of the names that I'm thinking of in the chat. There's a lot of people who are ready for a breakthrough.
I've seen a lot of growth here, like that I never expected to see the last 6 months or half a year or so, and especially the last few recent months. So I was done with the panelverse. I was no more, but it proved me wrong. Like I really see potential here. If
Jeff,
you and I can, and people like us can figure out a way to, we're a community and we're growing. So we're going to be like a small city at some point. And every city has its educational facilities, its support facilities, its community spaces, all of that. And there's a role for us here.
I agree.
It may be a small one, but there's people out here that I think could, I don't know, we could all help each other.
I agree. Jeff, I actually think there's some amazing ideas, some amazing opportunities available. What do you think of this? Bring up some guests.
Yeah, we had talked about maybe talking a while and then opening up, like having a limited panel of people that actually want to come up and it's not to confront or challenge or the drama stuff, because I'm not going to stick around for that. But if it's people that actually want to come and have conversations about the topics we're talking about, I'm perfectly open to a small panel.
Okay. Any other topics you want to hit before?
Well, if you want, I can address the Satanism real quick because I noticed the chat was very curious.
Would you please?
I just don't feel it anymore. Like I try to check in with it and it's just not there. It's moved on to something else. I did this thing like a few months ago where I was trying really hard to find. I saw a lot of darkness happening here, like so much darkness that I felt like I was the only one hanging on to the least little bit of light. And so I started going with that light more and more and trying to find that because I felt like it was needed. And during that process, the Satanism just kind of fell away. And I'm much more trying to tune myself to something light now. So that's
Jeff.
I still think he's cool. I still got the Baphomet, the t-shirts, but internally I don't identify as satanic anymore. I mean, I can still tap into it when I need to, but I think I've moved on. So there.
I love that, Jeff. It's a different description, but similar to the path I found. I found a lot of darkness in this world once I started looking into American history. It's fucking disgusting. Excuse my language. I'm sorry. It's it's absolutely atrocious. Which changed my perception of America, changed my perception
Was
of
it Howard Zinn?
part of it. He was an influence. He was
You
part
went
of it.
woke. You went from MAGA to woke.
Well, yeah, I did. Along my way, it was a slow change. I slowly changed. But I believed in the political system. I believed in the judicial system. All of this stuff I used to believe in. But then I woke up and I realized regarding Satanism, I have this theory. What if this is the bigger picture? Right? God allows the fallen angels to come down, corrupts mankind, but the surprise ending is that mankind overcomes. And by our overcoming the darkness, we invite the darkness to join us. Right?
You can't lose the dark. It's part of us. You're not going to
Right.
transcend the darkness. You have to
We
accept it. You
can,
have to make your peace with it, and you have to make a space for it.
yes. And bring the focus though on what we want. And what we want is to grow the light.
Yeah, the darkness can't be the master. Like it has to stay in its place, and you have to keep it in its place. But it's part of the ride.
It is. And that darkness within us though, it can take many different forms. It can be our
Sometimes we don't even
shyness.
notice. Like we can really. I learned that I'm a big control freak that I didn't even think I was, because I'm all about autonomy and self-determination and all that. But it surprised me how controlling I found myself being, and it was invisible. It just slipped right by me. That darkness. So it's not always obvious. I'm ready for another cup. So you want to do like a
Yeah.
little intermission? We can open a panel.
Yeah,
See who
you know
shows
what?
up and.
Intermission. We don't
Oh,
have
I just
anything.
meant I was gonna
Yeah, no,
go get a
please. I'm
refill.
gonna go ahead and drop the link. And that way if folks want to join, by the time you come back, we'll see if someone's here. See
Okay,
if that
you
comes
carry
through.
it for a second or two.
Yeah, sure.
I'll be right back, folks.
Pin
Conversation.
that over here. Did that come through? No. I'm going to put this over in Jeff's chat as well. And folks on my channel, I encourage you, make sure and subscribe to Jeff. He's doing some good stuff. He's very conscious and focused about healing, helping to share healing and support, building a community as we go. There we go.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Your trip to DC. That was quite exciting.
Oh, you know what? I don't think my link went through on your channel.
Oh, here, if you put it in the back, I can post it maybe. Oh, because you don't have a wrench. That's probably why.
Just copy the
I'll
link.
post it.
Would
Yeah,
you
I have
please?
it.
Please, thank you.
I'll get it.
We do have a guest in the back.
Is it snafu?
It is Snafu.
Oh, well, I might drop off.
No,
As long as he can have a conversation. If he starts his routine.
the people are fascinating. My first thought and my first objection was he's already been in the chat jumping about the Satanist thing, and I saw others commenting about it, and I find it to be most bizarre. It's a distraction. So, Jeff, this is something I agree with you on. In order to be a leader, there's got to be order, right? And the best way to have order is to have cooperation. Where did that go?
You want to, I mean, it's your show, and this is kind of like life coaching and leadership. You want to give him a try and if he
Let's see if he can cooperate, right? Because cooperation is key to communication. Communication is
key to cooperation.
Yeah.
Okay.
So sorry, Jeff.
No,
I think I'm going to bring Snafu up, and if you have any questions,
this is the panel first, because I normally don't stay on the panel with this person at all. So,
all right,
y'all are seeing history in the making here.
And
Good thing my computer's so loud, I probably won't even be able to hear him. This is the perfect timing.
And I'm counting on the best. I'm being optimistic. So,
all right, I'll try to bring my best too.
Please recognize the special opportunity that we're sharing, and let's make sure to cooperate. If you have any questions, Snafu, on what we're wanting, please ask. Okay, and welcome to you.
Okay, let's try not to run off and rock that chair like the crazy rocker you are, and let's get those caterpillars, those eyebrows furrowed, not bouncing around. I'm going to talk
just
to you
guys. You're saying it calmly.
I'm going to talk to you guys legitly, and don't let your dictatorship optics get in the way.
You don't run me. I'm going to drop anytime I want if you don't meet the agreement that Jack and I just laid down. And you're trying to like side-eye through it by doing it calmly, but it's still not a conversation. You're just spurging out more quietly than you normally do.
Thank you for calling it out, Jeff, and I agree.
Once again, you're predictable, and I was right.
Unfortunately, you were. Hey, we've got another guest, a couple more showing up. Let me do this in order and welcome up Uncle Fatty. How have you been, my brother?
Doing well, bro. How are you?
Feeling blessed.
How's the East Coast treating you?
It's an adventure. Life.
Still on Lookout Pass, bro. You can always come back.
Well, my mission hasn't been completed yet.
Yeah, well, you know, adapt and overcome, right?
That's what that is life. Oh. Adapt and overcome. But in order to adapt, this brings us back into that conversation, the earlier part.
Oh.
In order to adapt, we've got to accept.
Yeah.
And this is what
I've been wanting to ask you, how's the Serenity Prayer changed your life? Not just in recovery, but in general.
To be honest, I stopped using it for a while.
Yeah.
I found other mantras that I carried within me at different times. One of them, to be honest, is that none of this is real.
Yeah, right.
So you don't have to change any of it. Just accept it all.
That's it. The idea of nothing is real came to me from one of my early coaches. He was trying to explain the oneness of the experience and the unified wholeness of everything. So part of my experience, I swear to God, I started learning the power of the mind. At the same time, I was convincing myself that none of this is real because I'm not real. I'm not real because none of this is real. And it didn't make any sense, but eventually it did. And the world started treating me like I wasn't real. And so I was like, holy shit, does this stuff work? What's going on here? Am I dead? Did I leave? It's like I went through periods of, some might call it insanity, because I was questioning the reality I was given.
I hear that.
But what I heard something beautiful. I heard a number of things beautiful earlier today about suffering. Suffering is a result of our pride, and it's through the through our suffering, we will finally become humbled to turn to the higher power, to turn to God. And it's through our suffering that we learn our strengths. And I realize I'm kind of bouncing around on things here again, aren't I?
No, this is good stuff.
And really, that's the second part of the serenity prayer, is taking one day at a time, learning that our stumbles are steps up.
Stumbling up.
We don't learn shit sitting on the couch, right?
Well, yes and no.
I mean,
Depends on if it's Barney's couch or not.
life lessons, maybe not so much, but
Part of my path, I swear, the conversations I had with myself, because I found myself without a social life, without a job, without relationships. So I'm sitting in the backyard trying to figure out what to do, spent a lot of time meditating and thinking. And that's when I wondered, maybe this is what my path is. Maybe I'm supposed to sit and think.
Mhm.
Why
On
not?
YouTube in front of the whole world. It's just how to make money doing it. That's the key.
Well, this was before my YouTube stuff. I sat around and thought a lot. I was in a period of isolation. And then I started thinking about going to a monastery, entering a monastic path. Or I thought about a lot of different things. But then I've thought about the example of Jesus. He was like the master teacher, master yogi. He was the one to know. And where did he go? He didn't go to the caves. He went to the people. So that's where I started going. I went downtown to the bars 7 nights a week looking for people to connect to, right?
Yeah.
We're living at a time right now. Our future actually looks pretty good. So
Yeah,
this
I'm
time,
optimistic. I think it's a moment that if enough people take advantage of, it could be one of those little turning points, cultural turning points. And going back to like suffering and the serenity prayer, sometimes suffering can take the form of taking the wrong path, just keep trying the wrong thing over and over, the struggle, the futility. And Patty and I were talking about the serenity prayer the other day, and accepting what you can, what is it? Accept the things you can't change the things you can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And sometimes the wisdom takes the form of knowing when to stop struggling, trying to change something that you can't change, and just submit, just flow, just let go and submit to a process larger than yourself. Is the wisdom. That is the wisdom to know the difference, is when to struggle and when to flow.
well,
sometimes we got to sit alone in silence for a while to figure out where that spot is at, and when it comes, it comes. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. And to check into your body, not do it all with your head, but it, like Jack was saying, embodied and getting into the body, the whole person.
Jeff, what you're saying there is part of maturity, part of leadership, knowing when to change directions, when to surrender the battle so that you can continue another day, right? When to back off and reevaluate. That's part of our lifelong learning process that we go through. Hey, we have more guests in the back. One of them showed up and disconnected a couple of times.
I'm excited. It's rarely that I don't know who's backstage. This is kind of fun. Mystery guest.
We had Frank Monday here, and I enjoy what Frank brings too. We've got
I saw him in the chat. I don't think I know Frank.
Here, let's bring up
But I do
Hank.
know Hank.
Yeah, how are you, brother? Welcome.
Pretty good. So I have a question. When you say, Jack, none of this is real, what's your definition of real? I just try to figure out what you mean.
The concept came from the idea of only God is real. and that this experience is unreal because it's constantly changing. That which is real is true. That which is true is unchanging. And the only unchanging is God. So that was the path that I tried making sense of, and eventually it does. I mean, but it's not nothing is real. Well, it is. Because the God I know is not a thing. It is a no thing, but it's just the ultimate power and potential.
Oh, okay. So a follow-up question: do you define the term imaginary? And if you do, what does that mean?
Imaginary, I would try to describe as thoughts from the mind that have not been experienced. Or explanations of things that have been experienced that are not real. Could that make sense for imaginary? It's connected to the real. It's in line with the, well, it's potentially real, but not necessarily. Because it's through our imagination that we find empathy with another human being. It's through our imagination, I think, we find a relationship with everything. Holy cows, that's what it is.
What do you think about the statement, control is an illusion? I mean, we have control of things, but really, like, overall, what do we really have control of? You know?
You have control over yourself, your choices, your decisions.
To some degree, we do.
To some degree. But that's power.
The only thing we can control is that which is within our awareness. Because outside of our awareness or our attention, it's not really in our experience.
Very good point, yes.
How do you feel about the size of panel, Jeff? This is you and I today, so I want to.
Is there more people in the back?
We've got a few more civil.
I guess you know who they are, so like guess use your sense of how much they're gonna add to the panel or how much maybe take it in a different direction. What I call hijacking.
We do have one wild card and two pretty safe bets.
I'm curious about the wild card, but I also want to honor the safe bets because
I know, me too. Let's start there. Let's start with the safer bets. Oh, one of them dropped out. Welcome, Joe. How are you?
How come we didn't think of this
guy?
earlier? Jeff and Jack.
Joe, what happened to your camera? You're in color now. I mean, real like.
No, they did do it before. I mean, you're just not privy to the thing.
This is a natural. They got the energy. How did I not think of this to put these two together?
Yeah. I had this idea 3 years ago.
And I like your topic. Hank had asked y'all what's real, what's imaginary and shit. And Jack, I dig the way you're really just working it out on your head. You're not on some pompous shit like you know the answers. I can tell that you're figuring it out as you go along. I really like it. Everybody's kicking it. I like it.
Yeah, very
Me
humble.
too. This energy is beautiful. And there's our other safe bet. Welcome, Frank.
Hey, Frank.
He'd been dropping in and out, so there might be connection issues.
Oh yeah.
Mic check, Frank. Can you hear us? Yeah, it's not. Is he muted?
Yeah, he's on mute.
He's muted if he's there. Now, welcome to everybody. We do still have actually 2 wild cards in the back. Let me start.
Pick one.
The one I'm hoping will play along.
The card is like whenever Christians call people an asshole by saying, I'll pray for you. If Jack is fucking retarded and none of you are calling him out on it immediately, does that make all of you fucking retarded?
It
Yes.
might. I usually try to call out retarded people.
Like whenever he's
It does.
okay, and Jeff, you do love big hard panels. We all know that. When Jack went into that whole "what doesn't change isn't real" or whatever the fuck that bullshit was, it's
That was
not
a
true.
stretch.
Well, actually, that
Okay.
comes from the Greeks, from Heraclitus, and I study Greek
Fuck the
philosophy. So it's
Greeks.
very recognizable to
Oh,
me.
wait, no,
There's
you
nothing
love
to
the
call
Greeks
out.
because they did the Olympics naked and oil. That's why you love the Greeks.
Oh my
You call,
goodness.
Jack,
I mean,
who
what's
told
not
you
to
that
love about
bullshit?
that?
Jack, who told you that
Tommy.
bullshit and why do you think it's true?
Tommy, because
And then
only-
Hank got you. The autistic retard got you whenever he was like, then what's imagination? And you're like, oh, because what you
Tommy,
do, Jack,
We lost.
what
Hank.
you do, Jack, is you start with your bullshit and then you try and explain it as you go. Like, how do I make what I say true? You can't because you're an idiot. And
Tommy,
it's shown by
Who's
Joe
the
Cole
other
coming up.
wild card? Are they better? We could have a competition.
Oh, he
well,
muted me.
Tommy, I did mute you. You're not cooperating.
You got
Now,
standards here.
the other one, I'm not expecting as much chaos, but we'll see.
I knew that's who it was gonna be. My old buddy.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Did you
So,
miss me? Did
well,
you miss
actually,
No.
please,
I can't
come
lie.
on.
But
actually,
you missed me.
I didn't actually clarify, Stephen, but just so you're aware, cooperation is the key, and be aware that you're on thin ice with me. My patience with you is very slim.
Are you okay, Jack?
Oh, I'm beautiful. I'm just
You're beautiful.
tired of your childish nonsense, my friend.
All I said was hello. And
Today.
you seem triggered just by
Today.
that.
Yeah.
Well, I did hear an Irish. Do you have any Irish pubs where you used to go in Spokane, Washington?
Yep.
There were some Irish pubs.
Yep.
Did they ever sing there? Did you ever sing?
Not the Irish ditties. No.
I heard a modern song. It was kind of an Irish jig, but it was about Jack Talcott. I'd never heard it before.
Great.
Hey, Jack, you old ball.
Very good. You saw.
All right. Does that take care of our wild cards for the day?
I think it take care of what's in the back anyway for now.
Well, we got a new one.
Oh.
I'm not that wild. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Right, boy.
I
Had a
can
wig
be,
boy before.
I can be
he's
a
not
bit,
that wild.
skewy or unexpected, but not that wild.
Can I ask Voy, what is real?
What is real? Water is real,
Is it?
and
Is it?
you know how you can tell that water is real because water is wet. Before you start to ask that. So there you
Is
have
that
it.
it? I mean, is Jack real? Is this world real? What anything besides water on hitting that list?
Nah, I just told you, dude. Water is real.
Just water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Primarily water is real.
What if all of this, the mountains, the bodies, everything, what if all of it is only real to us?
Like it's all a simulation. Yeah, I can believe that too, man. I mean, yeah.
You figure how far have we come with video games? Say 20 years ago. How far?
Right.
Pong or whatever.
Yep.
1,000 years, assuming we don't blow ourselves up and Trump leaves office at some point, and we exist. How far would a computer game be? A simulation would definitely be something you sit in a chair and eat a pill or something, and it looks totally immersive and totally real. It would probably look like this in 1,000 years.
I hear what you're saying, Joe.
Bob.
But then again, that's also simplifying the mystery of Earth, right? Don't you think so? It's like, oh, I can understand this. It's just a game. It's not real. And that doesn't solve the whole mystery, does it?
I like it. Okay, I agree. It doesn't solve the mystery, and in fact, it demystifies it a bit. But it also makes it more interesting. If you consider what Jack's proposition of all of these things, they are not real. It doesn't make it any less interesting because it's all made of matter. Matter arranges to form a thing, and you could go on and on with this journey. Are thoughts real? Are
Right.
cars real? Are things that short lasting real?
Cars are
How
real.
about-
I mean, cars are
How
real.
about this? I heard this quote earlier today as well. Everything you hear from another is just opinions. Everything you see is just a perception. So what are you supposed to do with that?
Be
That's all we
satisfied.
have to work with. We just mythologize our perceptions and
Right.
the opinions of others.
Right.
That
When
I like
becomes
that
our
word.
story.
We mythologize our perceptions, man.
Yeah,
Paul hopped in the head. I'll be the first person to say his name. Jeff, when you said that, Paul, everything that he perceives is mythological. It's so huge that you idiots, and Tommy got some of this. You idiots didn't figure it out. Yeah, they
He has a very big
mythologize their
imagination,
perception.
big
Yeah, that's
brain.
dope.
So, Jack, if none of this is real, what's the hurry of fighting the negativity in the world?
Very
It's
good,
not-
Frank. Hey, very good.
It's an opportunity. We get to imagine and create the future we want and whatever we can with whatever we get to do with what we receive, whatever we want. And we've received life. And I used to live in a real dark world, a world where I was afraid and I was angry all the time. And I saw a lot of misery and suffering. And I allowed that to affect me.
Used to live with Hank, huh?
Well, no. Most of my misery and suffering, admittedly, was because of my perception.
Yep.
I had a confused mind. I had unrecognized, unhealed trauma that I'd never faced. I never thought to face it. I thought, you know what? I survived. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm just ordinary like everybody else. And I was insane. Not
Question.
anymore.
You said what was that? And you had all of these things and you did something. My question was going to be your residual anger. Does it mean that you still are working on whatever you were just talking about?
My insecurities and my fear. That's the only reason. What people identify as anger in me most often is not. It's frustration because I'm not finding the words. They're not understanding. I'm feeling unheard, right? But when I do that, it doesn't do anything to bring anyone closer to me. It's an excuse for people to push me away.
It's even a little more, and I'm not trying to pick at you, but it's you actively pushing people away, not just them.
Well,
And you're correct, by the way, but it ain't just them. People who do that, they're very well aware that when I act out, it keeps people at a distance. That's the purpose, the reason they do it.
It's just a
Right.
cookie.
But it's not just Jack either, because not everyone
100%.
gets
I
pushed
wasn't even
away.
thinking Jack when I was saying that, by the way.
No, but it's not like a bad thing to push people away. I mean,
Right.
you know,
You got to ask.
Exactly. Go ahead.
no,
Jack.
you can't accept everybody. You can't accept
Boy.
people that misbehave, right?
We can love one another.
Yeah.
And stop judging the behavior. We can offer correction and guidance, leadership for those who are showing poor behavior. And earlier, I don't know if you guys were here earlier, but Jeff and I talked about this idea of men being kinder to men, right? And that's part of it. Part of being kinder means you got to accept someone for their flaws and all.
100%. That's what unconditional. Remember that guy Aaron who swear he got kidnapped by the Rothschilds, and one thing he did leave, one jewel. I was calling it love. He added unconditional love. I thank him for that, and I haven't
That's
forgotten.
what you do with family. That's what you do to family.
Exactly. Jack is family.
no,
Jeff
that-
is
that's what
family.
you do to
Fatty is
family.
family.
No,
Hank
that
is
is what you do
family.
to family. That's not what you do to everybody.
Voy,
Am I
that's setting
wrong?
condition.
Am I wrong?
You're setting
Jack
condition.
is family.
Right.
I gotta put up with his idiosyncrasies. Jeff is family. Patty is
We
not only
are.
is he
Joe and I
family,
even dated for a while.
we dated for a while. It was a
Yeah, we
horrible
were panel
breakup. He
boyfriends.
cheated on me with some, dude over in his room.
Couple more months of dating my mom, Joe's going to be my stepdad.
Right? We totally family, bro.
See, the family grows. Family grows.
Unconditional love would mean that they are all equal, all family. The same way I put up my brother, he's got cancer in the brain and he says and does weird shit. You just got to suck it up. I need to develop that tolerance, if that's the right word for everybody. And tolerance is certainly the wrong word.
Here,
So, go ahead, Jack.
well, to play the other side of it, though, part of our reality is learning boundaries, learning self-respect, right?
100%.
And so that's the challenge I've been finding, because what I want to be is more unconditional love. But how do I maintain order
when someone's attacking you? You unconditionally love them, but they're hurting you. Sometimes you definitely would have to push away just to save yourself. That's totally logical and understandable.
And you can love the person and not the behavior.
Very good, Jeff. And you can still love the person and acknowledge that he's slipping and all of that shit. Like Tommy. I love Tommy and shit. I was over there giving him shit. Fuck that motherfucker. And
I have some bad
just to
news.
wrap it up
might
really
be
quick.
good news for a lot of you. I'm going to have to sign off. My computer fan sounds like a lawnmower right now. I cannot hear a thing. I have to
make a video. You'll have a bunch of fans.
Smack it. Call it dirty.
Here, please, Jeff. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Any more?
Until next time.
Hey, it's been a blessing. I sincerely appreciate you joining. Do you want to end your side? Do you want to keep it going? What do you feel?
And I'll probably end my side just to be safe, because you never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, Joe might whip his cock
I look forward
out.
to another one. I think there's
Me
gonna
too.
be more. So.
Yes, we'll talk again after.
All right. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you again.
Much love, Jeff.
Natural. You and fucking Jeff. It was natural. You cats should be co-hosting the show or something.
Thank you, Joe. We had talked about it, and I think it was suggested a while ago, and the timing just didn't happen. But everything is happening together. I
Jack,
think it's all happening.
and I am going to. It's kind of cool that I'm